got that adrenaline, venom, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up and I'm ready to snap any momentum.
Hey guys, what's going on? Kwame here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am bringing you guys another video for Escape from Tarkov. In this video I'm going to be covering my first impressions of the new patch 11.5 that had very recently came out. As you guys know, there was supposed to be a lot of optimization fixes as well as bug fixes for this new patch. I won't be covering absolutely everything that was in the released patch notes because I didn't have time to go out and test out everything, but what I can tell you is what I experienced through this patch, as well as the pluses and minuses that we found whilst playing the new update for a bit more than 3.5 hours. So without further ado, here is my first impressions of the 11.5 update for Escape from Tarkov. Where did I pick up all this shit? How are the menus and trading stuff faster? It seems pretty much the same to me right now, dude. Like, look. And look, there's nothing in this guy's menu. It's gone. Alright guys, so the first thing that I noticed about the new patch is the traders, Prapor and Therapist. I couldn't actually buy anything from them. Their menus were blank. I tried changing the tabs from level 1 to level 2 to see if that changed anything. It didn't. This is obviously kind of annoying, especially if you needed to buy meds or whatever. But everyone else was good. Everyone else, so Peacekeeper, Ragman, Mechanic, and Skier were all good. But Prapor and Therapist were just like, nope, not today, sonny. And that was the end of that. And I think it stopped when the traders reset. But at that particular point in time, I couldn't buy anything. So that's the first thing that I noticed about the new patch 11.5. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, we tried to get into a scav run, and we actually couldn't get in on the first attempt. It actually took us 2 attempts to get into our first raid of the new patch. It was just taking way too long. It was like we waited like more than 5 minutes, and then so we just ended up having to try again. And so there was a bit of an extended wait time, but I presume that's because there was a lot of people trying to get into the game at the time because the patch just came out. So that was probably a factor in why it took us so long to get into our first run. Just get the bejeebies out of me, mate. I wanted to see if there was any issues between like scavs on scavs, to see if like there was going to be any lag or desync issues when you come into contact with other scavs, or like when you get into a gunfight. It appears to be fine. There's nothing really else to say about it. I wonder if labs is available or have they shut it off yet. I don't know. Have you noticed any improvements? I haven't noticed jack shit. It's like, well, we saw before. Okay, someone's home. 100 stable FPS? Good question. Oh, the FPS counter in the top right hand corner looks different. Look at that. That's moist. That is moist. In case you didn't catch that, the FPS counter in the top right hand corner, the HUD for it has changed and it looks pretty damn good, if you ask me. Looks much better than the old one, and we ended up trying the other FPS counter, and that looks pretty good too. So I'm quite happy with that. Is there an FPS 3? No. I kinda like the first one better. So I'm getting 68, 75 at the moment, 80. So not bad. I suppose for Interchange that's pretty decent. As most of you guys would know, Interchange with the FPS can be very up and down. It actually lags and with FPS drops at particular points on this map. So I was trying to constantly keep my eye on the top right hand corner on the FPS counter to see if it did any drops, and I didn't actually experience any, I don't think. So I'm quite happy with that. Still getting like 58 FPS. Well, I'll know more when I get to the center area, if I make it there. So what I wanted to do was run around in the main centered area on Interchange, because generally that's the area where you happen to get a lot of FPS drops, and so I wanted to actually go there and test it out and see if how the FPS was coping there. And I also wanted to test out, there's this one part right behind where I'm standing, the escalators going up towards Ollie. Every time you go up those escalators, I don't know if it's just me or if it's for everybody, but every time I go up those escalators from where I am down below, I always drop to about 14 FPS or something, and it's terrible. It's absolutely horrendous. So that is something I also wanted to test out to see if they'd fix that issue or not. They retextured your favorite Mark III rig? Ooh. Cool. Alright, so this is what I want to test out. Every time I come up this escalator right here, boys, this one right here, I drop like to like 20 to 40, maybe I got like 14 FPS or something. So let's test it out. Oh my god, I didn't lag. Wow, that's actually amazing. I'm feeling really damn good today, fellas. I don't know why, but I am. I've got a really good feeling. Yeah. Overall, I would say it's better. Overall. What's the patch like? It's not too bad, Fatty. And thanks for dropping in, man. So overall, I think Interchange is pretty good. The FPS overall has improved. I did not experience any other issues concerning with lag or desync or anything like that. Even when we got into a little bit of a gunfight with the scavs, there was no lag or anything like that. But unfortunately, I do get this back end error here whilst I'm back on the menu. So that's still around, unfortunately. One of my viewers was suggesting that perhaps the only reason why I wasn't getting a lot of FPS drops was because I was on a scav run and I wasn't on my PMC. So because you got more gear and whatnot is could be part of the reason why there is more FPS drops. So I decided to test that out and go in as a PMC, fully geared to Interchange to see if there's any FPS drops. Turns out it was exactly the same as it was on my scav runs, so that's good to know that they've optimized the game a little bit more, especially on Interchange, and it's going to be running smoother from here on in. Where is he? So I want to play, boys, as I was saying before, I want to play each map at least once, see what it's like. As I've just said, I wanted to play each map at least once before I called it quits for the night, and the point of that was I wanted to see if there was any other FPS drops or any other issues that I could potentially find out, like bugs for example, that I could potentially know about. And I certainly did find out something, and you'll see that later in the video. And the question is, what happens when we actually get into a gunfight? Like fully geared players, sort of a thing. And does the game shit the bed? Alright, so the next thing to test out was to go into the main centered area as a fully geared PMC and try and run into some enemy PMCs and try and get into a gunfight to see if we get into any FPS drops whilst we are there. So we end up getting into a gunfight with two enemy players here, and they're pretty geared, so I wanted to see how it would feel like FPS wise, and it was actually pretty good. I don't think I dropped any frames, no stuttering whatsoever whilst I was in the middle of a gunfight, so that was pretty damn good. Also, ADSing with your scope has improved, but it can still get frame droppy at times. Oh, I forgot to put the FPS thingy up. My mistake. So what was that looking like over there? Look at that, I'm getting 24, 29 FPS. Look at this shit. That's disgusting. You guys see that? Do you guys see that? Let me do it one more time. Look at that FPS drop. I don't know if that's better or worse, if that's normal, to be honest. I hate going this way, I really do. I kind of want to go back. It's weird that sounds. See, this doesn't feel bad. Before, it's just for some reason looking in this direction, it drops to like 30 because that's where the rest of the map is. I guess there's more stuff going on that way, but this way it feels really smooth. Look at that, nice smooth transition. Smooth. This way is dog shit. Smooth. Dog shit. Smooth. Well, a little bit of drop there, but back to smooth. And dog shit. I don't know if this was a normal thing before, but ADSing looking towards the hill felt very smooth, while ADSing looking to the left towards the rest of the map, it seemed a bit frame droppy. I don't know why that is, if this is happening to anyone else, but that obviously happened back there with me. Whoa! Oh, I can't run at all, can I, with my black legs? Why can't I? Yeah, you can't run at all. They've changed that. This was something that I obviously didn't know with the patch, was that once you got blacked out limbs, if you're trying to sprint, or like trying to take like a couple of steps while sprinting, you'll obviously take damage. I was trying to take like one step at a time, and it would still take damage from me. It might be just because I only had two black limbs at the time. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. So I couldn't quite test that out if it was like, if it's a single limb sort of a thing. But for me, I was taking like trying to sprint like one step at a time, and I kept taking damage. So lesson learned: you cannot sprint anymore whilst you have blacked out limbs. You have to walk now. Oh boy. Oh, it's rain. Listen to that. It doesn't sound anywhere near as bad as what it used to. You hear that? It's not that loud anymore. So the rain sounds pretty good. Doesn't appear to be any like difference in FPS regarding like the difference in the rain compared to before or anything like that. So that's good. But then we ended up encountering something pretty damn strange, which you're about to see right now. Take note here that I'm looting the safe that does not require a key in the first cottage. Dude, we're winning. We are winning. I never got in that house, why not? Why not, Benny? It just flings open, man. Why can't it won't let me open the thingy. It won't let me open the safe. No. It won't let me open the safe. Boys? It's not that one, is it? I don't understand, but it won't let me open it. No. The safes here that required a lock, I couldn't open it. I couldn't even touch them. I don't know why, but I couldn't. But I could open the other safes in the other cottage, and the other one in the other room here that didn't require a lock. I could open them, but the ones that required a key, I could not open. I could not touch them. I don't know why. I've never encountered this sort of a thing before. I of course had the keys in my documents case. I even tried taking them out of my documents case and putting them in my bag just in case there was something wrong with my gamma container. It still didn't work. I have no idea. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this. So I tried to test this by going to the resort and going to the third floor where there's also a safe that requires a key. It was the same deal. I couldn't open it. I could not touch it. I don't know what the issue there is, but I don't know, someone might want to look into that. Okay, labs. I could not get into the labs, boys. I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't do it. I could only get in one time, and that it was as a hatchling, and that's because my chat was telling me the only way I could get in was to go in as a hatchling and don't take my keys. So the only way I got in one time was to empty out my gamma container, basically, and don't bring anything else. So I went in as a hatchling. I could actually get into the game, and the plan after that was to exit that raid and then try and get into another raid, this time with gear. This did not work, okay? So other than that one time as a hatchling, that's the only time I could actually get into a labs raid in this patch, which is super unfortunate, but what can you do? But all the other maps felt pretty damn good overall. Very good FPS improvements, in my opinion. I was pretty happy with Interchange, for example. Generally, when you're in that circular area, the main centered area, sorry, generally you lag and like you get a lot of FPS drops. That did not happen, so I was really happy about that. And all the other maps felt pretty good overall too. But as you can see, there was some things that were a little bit funny or buggy. Like with the safes, for example, and hopefully that sort of stuff will be fixed in the future. So that's going to wrap up my first impressions of 11.5, the new patch that just came out very, very recently. And I hope you guys learned something, and thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe for future content. All my footage comes from my live streams, which can be found at twitch.tv/Kwame_AU. Schedule and other details will be in the description box below. Thanks again for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.